So we're doing chapter 2 of Secret of the Maw right now. It's called The Hideaway. And at this point, the Runaway Kid, our protagonist, has just been captured by the Janitor. And we'll see what happens to him now. Alright, so at this point, the Runaway Kid has been mummified by the Janitor and he's been carried up probably to the chef's kitchen. From the primary game, you might remember that that's the arc. The Janitor captures children, turns them into mummies, and sends them up to the chefs who, use their dead bodies as food basically for their guests. Our Runaway Kid, however, has been lucky. He's been able to break free, and he's fallen into this debris. Alright, a lot of gnomes around him. At this point, I'm still really curious what these gnomes are, considering they're all over the place, but we don't really get any explanation for who they are. And in a world full of such deadly monsters, like, the gnomes seem pretty docile and helpful even, though that certainly didn't keep Six from eating one of them. But I wonder what it is what they are and what's their story. Alright, so this gnome is stuck out here. Let's get him out. Alright, so I need to open that door, and the gnome seems to be the only thing inside. So we hurl him onto the bar, and he opens the door for us. I don't know why I'm calling the gnome a he, like an it, a they, whatever. I don't know what their gender construction is. It's pretty funny how we have to literally like hurl the gnomes across. Alright, and the gnomes open the door for us. These gnomes are pretty helpful. Like, I hope the Runaway Kid doesn't need them too. And now seeing just like how helpful the gnome is, I feel even more terrible that Six ended up eating one of them. Alright, so the gnome's helping him push the crate off. Alright, so we can see another gnome out there. And a box over there. I'm gonna toss the gnome over onto the table. And that drawer is shaking. And yep, there is another gnome here. So that gnome clearly needs another helping hand to toss the crate off. Alright, I'm gonna release this gnome. And I've got 3 gnomes. Alright, so I'm gonna push the door now and all the gnomes collectively help me. Alright, so that trapdoor clearly doesn't do anything right now. Just throw some coal off. But if I know anything about this game so far, it's that if something doesn't seem useful right now, you're just supposed to take note of it because you might need it later in the future. So I'm gonna remember that trapdoor. Where's the other gnome? Come over here. Alright. Alright, and I've set the steam engine or furnace off, and they seem to be carrying coal into it. Alright, so I can already tell that this is going to be like the central area in this game. We're gonna have to bring a lot of other gnomes in who will carry more coal into the furnace to get that lift or elevator shaft working. Okay, so here we have another gnome, and there's another over there. So it's funny how he's using all these gnomes to basically like do his manual labor for him. Yeah, I hope he's paying them well. I do not want to condone slave labor out here. Okay, the fuse just blew off. This one still seems to be working though, so I'll put this back in. Okay, that's working. What about this one? Okay, so this one isn't working. Yeah, so that one just comes right off. It's not working. Only one of them is. And clearly I need both of them to be working for this dumb baiter. So I can already tell that my next task is to get another working fuse. Oh no, there's the janitor. Gotta run past him. But I hate the janitor, he's just the creepiest. I think he's the creepiest villain in this particular game. Like, the lady is scary for sure, but she's not nearly as creepy. I mean, the way his neck creaks, you know, like arthritic, and his long slender arms that can just reach everywhere. Yeah, it's pretty terrifying. Alright, there's a stool in this door. What about this one? There's a bucket and a mop. Don't need that. Alright, and there's some files and stuff that I can probably use to climb over there. So I'm gonna grab this stool. And use that as a platform. Okay, not just yet. Alright, now we're climbing up. Now where do we have to go from there? Alright, maybe I can jump across. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's a light over there. It's gonna swing off the chandelier like a bird across the night. Oh, what did I do that for? Alright, it's a good thing it reloads right here because I did not want to have to go through all of that over again for a silly mistake like this. Alright, so I can see a fuse over there. It's in working condition. None of these are. So let's try to find a way to that fuse. Now you remember that we were at an earlier place with two fuses, one of which was blown. So clearly we need to attach this fuse into that one, which also means I will have to get past the janitor again. This time holding a fuse. So let's see how that works out. Alright, I can hear the janitor out there. So again, if you remember that about the janitor, he is blind, so he can't see the light, so that's good. But he has a good sense of smell and he can hear you. And there's a lot of coal out here, so I've got to be careful about that because if I try to walk on coal, I'll definitely be found. So I need to use the light to guide my way, steer clear of the coal, and get through the scene without making any noise. Okay, so the janitor is literally right behind me. I have a really strong urge to just get up and run, but this game, at least so far, doesn't seem to reward impatience. You need to be really, really patient. Okay, there's some coal there, gotta avoid those. Alright, so I can't avoid this coal now, so he's definitely gonna find me out. So let's just get out. Alright. Let's get this in. I don't think he can get through that, but I don't want to risk it, so I've got to be fast. Alright, and I'm through the dumbwaiter. Alright, a couple more gnomes for me. Okay, let's move this, see if this works. Alright, so I can't open the door on my own. It's two gnomes. Let's see if I can get it. Alright, I'm gonna leave him for now. Try to get the others. Gnome number 1. Alright, so I've got to get to that gnome out there, which is doing some kind of like painting or something. So I'm gonna climb around on those drawers and use this platform to get through. That's the thing about this game which I really love. There are like so many moving pieces and you have to like, really be observant of all your environment to try and figure out just which elements you can use to accomplish your goal. You have to kind of like reverse engineer from your goal. In this case, I knew that I had to get to the gnome, and I knew that these drawers could be used to travel across, and that leads me to my decision to do this. But if you're not very observant of your environment, you can be stuck in these areas for quite a long time. Alright, so I've got 2 gnomes down, there's 1 left. Can I get it? I hope so. Okay, let me try and sneak up on it. Nope, that doesn't work. Damn, this gnome is slippery. Why are you running away from me, gnome? I don't want to eat you. Okay, I literally don't even know which gnome I'm going after anymore. Oh, fuck, I hugged the wrong gnomes, it seems. This is just taking forever. Alright, finally. Now what do you have to do? Alright, I think I know. Alright, so I'm gonna hurl these gnomes up to that lever, one by one. And I think their collective weight will be able to pull the door down. At least enough for me to lodge this box in. Alright, now follow me, little gnomes. Follow the Pied Piper. Alright, so I think you already know where this is going. We're gonna take these gnomes back to the place of the furnace so they can also start shoveling coal for me. I think I'm missing one gnome. Yeah, come here. Why are you waiting back there? Follow me. Follow me, little gnome. Alright, where do I go next? Let me climb these stairs. Okay, there's nothing here. Okay, I'm gonna use the stairs. Alright, so here you gotta jump out here. And right on cue, there's the janitor again. So if you remember, in the primary game, 6 chopped the janitor's hands off. And that means we already know that Runaway Kid's story runs parallel to 6's. And his hands are definitely not chopped off here. So that means two things. Either the janitor has lizard hands that can grow back, which I do not think is the case, or this game, indeed this event comes before the events of the primary game. Alright, so in this level to cross that, I have to hit that button, which will temporarily take down his senses, and then I have to get over there, pull that lever, and then rotate that wheel, and that will open a hatch all the way over there, and I'll be able to get through. But I have to do that without him being aware of it, because there's no way I can outrun him and do all of these things. I can use these carpets to navigate because the floorboards are creaky, whereas the carpet muffles my footsteps, and that's what I want. If you're walking on carpets, you're basically invisible and soundless to him. Or I'm going to pull this pulley and he'll immediately become aware of me. So I'm going to climb up over here. Okay, now that this is making all this noise, I don't have to worry about crawling or muffling my footsteps. I can just go through and open this hatch. Okay, there's a gnome out there. So one thing we know about the gnomes is that they mimic your activities. So while I jump, the gnome will also start jumping, and that will break him free. So I've got to go through here, jump here, and turn this wheel. And that lowers the cart of coal. Now I just have to find my way back. You've got to be careful out here because if you like fall down and die, you're gonna have to like do all of that maneuvering all over again. Alright, so I've got this now. I'm gonna push it closer to those boxes so I can use it as a platform to climb up. I can't open this just yet because I need the gnome's help. Nor can I turn that, but I see that there is a gnome down here in the coal pit, so I need to get that. Okay, this is gonna be a nightmare because the first catching one of these is really difficult, especially when it's like determined to like keep running from you. I'm basically just like jumping all over the place, pressing R2 in the hopes that I'll catch it. I don't know if there's a specific technique for it, but all the times that I've done it, it's just sort of happened. I don't know if there's a quicker, more efficient technique that you know of, just let me know in the comments, but I can think of it. Also, this kid is like really slow. Like, just catch it. Alright, I got it. One more try. Alright, now this is working and I can use this to swing across and get that gnome. But it's decided to hide from me. I'm gonna pull this and I'm gonna be really quick about... Oh no, I have to do all that again. Alright, I got my second gnome. This one wasn't as difficult as the first one. Alright, now that I have both the gnomes, I can open this door. And we can... push this. At this point, when I was doing this, I didn't really know what my purpose was in doing this. I just knew that that's what the gnomes wanted to do. So I was like, alright, I'll just... Okay, so it doesn't want to go in there. Alright, so they're all helping me make this incline. Do we have to open the door first? Alright, so I think I'm gonna open the door from the other side and let them through. I honestly don't know how these gnomes are of any help at all because they look like really tiny and they seem to have like no muscular strength whatsoever. I have no idea how they're doing all of these things. Alright, so now that the gnomes are here. Alright, so if you remember earlier in the game, there was a hatch that you opened which threw some coal in. I'm pretty sure that's how you have to get the gnomes through. So I jump on this lever. It's pretty fortuitous that there's a ladder out here that... And all the gnomes are here. They're gonna follow me in and get to coal shoveling. Is that the last one? Yep, I think that's the last one. I can go now. The design out here is just beautiful. I think the DLC is far more complex and far more, the puzzles at least are far more interesting than the ones in the primary game. There are just so many moving pieces and you have to like actually use the gnomes instead of just hugging them. I think that's pretty clever. Alright, so there are a bunch of gnomes out here. Maybe these are all the gnomes that I've hugged before, maybe they're new gnomes. I don't know for sure yet. But they're helping me get the box off. And I can get through these cracks. Now, if you notice an interesting detail out here, and this isn't something I noticed the first time around, but all the gnomes, they seem to have the shadows of real children. They don't have gnome shadows, their shadows are those of real children, and that's a pretty important clue about who these gnomes and what these gnomes really are, so don't ignore it just yet. Alright, he's on an elevator and he's going up, and here we have the lady. So that means he's gonna be up against the lady in the next level, which is the residence. And all the sixes already defeated and devoured the lady. This event happens before that, so we're gonna have to go up against her again. And that's it. That's the end of the Hideaway. Thanks for watching.